Near the grand arches of Istanbul's Misir Karsisi, which many locals consider to be the city's best marketplace, you can experience a heady aroma of spice and a kaleidoscope of color. Going on the market's back streets, you can spot this mouth-watering sweet carefully stacked upon each other, beckoning beneath a pastry shop's glass. Let's find out, what dessert is it? Hello, and welcome to Hungry History. Here, we talk about the history of your favorite food items. In today's video, we'll look at the traditional Turkish street food, also known as brothel dessert. So, let's get started. It's one of Istanbul's most popular and oldest street foods, halka tatlisi. The circular dough that's deep fried to a golden brown and soaked in syrup is found on every corner and is said to help restore one's vigor after hours spent walking the busy streets. It's long been associated with the city's seedier side. That connotation is what gave rise to its local nickname of brothel dessert. It's known as a natural Viagra, explained Turkish celebrity chef and restaurateur Samar Sivarulu, explaining its amusing moniker. Halka tatlisi was traditionally sold in Karakoy on Istanbul's European side, within the Beyoğlu district. The historic waterfront neighborhood of Galata is located at the northern end of the Golden Horn, the main inlet of the Bosphorus Strait that's been used as a shipping passage since Byzantine times. Originally a Genoese merchant colony, Karakoy became home to a variety of immigrants beginning in the 13th century, including a large population of Sephardic Jews when Ottoman Sultan Bayezid II invited them to settle here after their expulsion from Spain in 1492. Karakoy, as a busy port, became a prostitution hotspot as it was industrialized, and after a new regulation legalized Istanbul's first brothels in 1884, this red light district, which was originally intended for foreign visitors, thrived for the next 137 years. Karakoy, on the other hand, looks very different today. Gentrification is there from the Galata Tower viewing platform through the cobbled back streets. Warehouses have been converted into modern art galleries in the last decade, while workshops have given way to hipster cafes, barbers, and boutiques. The recent closure of the remaining brothels on Zarafa Street, however, is the most visible sign of change, with their demolition making way for an art and cultural center as part of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism's Beyoğlu Culture Road project. Even though the brothels have closed, there are still a lot of halka tatlisi vendors in this area, Capici said. And it's quite evident. You can see men making and selling the city's favorite donut-like desserts on the streets. You can watch them squeeze batter, traditionally made with salmonella and plain flour, into hot oil with a pastry syringe's star-shaped nozzle. This ring dessert somewhat resembles a churro. Capici explained, halka tatlisi, with its ridged edges, resembles the churro, which is thought to have arrived with the expulsion of Spanish Jews as a result of the Alhambra Decree. The difference is that our version, known as the Turkish churro, is circular in shape and made from tulumba tatlisi. Tulumba tatlisi, or pump dessert, is a Turkish dessert named after the pump-like apparatus or syringe used to distribute batter. These Ottoman donuts, which are cut into small tubes before being fried and drenched in syrup, are especially popular at weddings and during the month of Ramadan, providing a sugar hit to people who have fasted all day. Although there appear to be a few theories as to how halka tatlisi arrived in Istanbul, the halka tatlisi, tulumba tatlisi, and churros all share heritage in medieval Arabic cuisine, with the earliest known record of desserts of their kind stemming from a fritter called zalabiya mushahabak, which appears in Katib al-Tarak. This 10th century Baghdadi cookbook is considered the most comprehensive work of its kind, providing a rare glimpse into medieval Islam's culinary culture and the role food played during the politics of its golden era when Baghdad was a center for scientific and cultural learning, and religious and civil leaders gathered at opulent banquets. Tulumba is the same as halka tatlisi, except the latter is distinguished by its shape, explained Nawal Nasrallah, an Iraqi-born food writer and food historian who translated the ancient cookbook into English for the first time. She explained that many dishes migrated to Istanbul when the Ottoman sultans hired Arab cooks to work in their elite kitchens. And while it's possible that Sephardic Jews influenced the churro look of this pastry with its ridged edges, we know that Spain's fried fritters were influenced by Middle Eastern cuisine. All of these desserts use the same basic ingredients and method, in which batter is poured into hot oil using a specially designed instrument, whereas zalabiya mashabak was traditionally made by passing batter through a hole in a coconut shell into hot fat. Nasrallah explained. Halka tatlisi, tulumba, and churros are formed using more modern utensils such as kitchen syringes or piping bags to distribute the batter into oil. But what about the libidinous qualities of these fried sweets? which led to halkatatlisi being sold outside brothels. Well rose, found in the rose water and honey syrup that traditionally perfumed zalabia, is a known aphrodisiac. Nasrallah stated that sugary treats and, in of themselves, were thought to increase sexual drive. According to Galen's theory of the four senses of humor, people in medieval times believed that sweets, in general, were an aphrodisiac, boosting libido due to their hot and humid properties, she said, and zalabia mushabak was a favorite, appearing on caliphs' tables as well as busy marketplaces. While it's no longer sold outside of brothels, halkatatlisi is still a popular street food snack in Istanbul, available in vendor carts, pastry shops, and now restaurants. Servalu intends to include an elevated modern take on halkatatlisi on the dessert menu of Effendi, his newly opened Istanbul restaurant. Our goal is to elevate this common street dessert to the restaurant level, said Servalu, who is known for challenging stereotypes about Turkish cuisine. Servalu, who is also a judge on MasterChef Turkey, gave contestants a halkatatlisi challenge a few years ago, asking them to recreate the popular street food. The challenge filming was a lot of fun because, despite appearing to be a simple dessert, halkatatlisi is actually quite difficult to get right. The temperature of the oil has to just be right to create the crunch on the outside and the softness inside, which proved disastrous for the contestants, but great drama for us, he joked. Servalu's new version, which includes pistachio flour from eastern Turkey in addition to the traditional salmonella, then it's drenched in sherbet water, which is an Ottoman-era drink made with fruit, sugar, and water. Finally, it's delicately dressed in a dulce de leche. It's topped with crushed pistachio nuts, a sprinkle of Ayvalık sea salt, and a dollop of goat's milk cream cheese. This elegant version of Istanbul's infamous brothel dessert in the affluent neighborhood of Atelier, amid soft lighting, polished wine glasses, and sophisticated guests, was a far cry from the city's back streets. As you eat it, the initial crunch gives way to creamy, velvety softness. An explosion of sweet delight erupted as sherbet water trickles down. It's easy to see how this corrupt dessert has endured through the centuries, bringing pleasure to everyone from sinners to sultans. So, this was it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed our video. If yes, then like and share the video, and subscribe to Hungry History for many more amazing videos. Stay tuned, as we'll be back soon with another informative and amazing video. Till then, keep evolving.